Abel Hale did not believe in nights. He believed in spreadsheets, quiet routines, and pretending he didn't have feelings. So when he found himself standing in a dim rooftop bar at 10:47 p.m., clutching a drink he didn't order, he knew his life had already gone off script. The drink had been sent by a stranger who was now walking toward him with the confidence of someone who'd never been told no in his life. "Hi," the stranger said, sliding into Abel's space like he'd paid rent for it. "I'm Luca Rivers. I saw you looking lonely. Thought I'd fix that." Abel blinked. "I wasn't lonely. You were standing alone, staring into your glass like it insulted your ancestors. That's lonely." "I was thinking." "Exactly," Luca said. "Lonely behavior." Abel did something he hadn't done in months. He laughed. It slipped out before he could stop it, and Luca brightened like a lamp somebody switched on. Luca was annoying. Annoying, attractive, persistent. He had dimples, for God's sake, actual dimples. His kind should be illegal. Abel cleared his throat. "Thanks for the drink, but I'm not really looking, trying, alive." Luca supplied. "Same. That's why a one-night deal sounds perfect." Abel stiffened. That word, night, always sounded like trouble. But Luca looked at him with eyes soft enough to melt a glacier, and Abel's well-constructed emotional fortress developed cracks. "One night," Abel repeated like he was trying to convince himself more than Luca. "One," Luca confirmed. "Just tonight. No pressure. No strings." Abel should have said no. He should have walked away. Instead, Luca's fingers brushed his light, casual, devastating. And Abel heard himself say, "Fine. One night." Luca grinned, and the universe probably applauded. 2 hours later, Abel was lying on his couch with Luca beside him, laughing, eating cheap takeout, and telling the most unhinged stories Abel had ever heard. "And then the cat stole my passport," Luca said between mouthfuls. Abel nearly choked. "That didn't happen." "It did. I had to chase him across 3 flights of stairs. He thought it was a game." "Why would a cat want your passport?" "He said he didn't want me to travel." Abel stared. "He said." "Spiritually," Luca clarified. Abel groaned. "You're ridiculous." "Ah," Luca said, tapping his chest dramatically. "A compliment. It was supposed to be harmless. They were supposed to talk a little, maybe kiss, and then go their separate ways like mature, emotionally detached adults. But something happened. Luca fell asleep. On Abel. Not beside him. On him. Head on Abel's chest, one hand curled into Abel's shirt like he was claiming him. Breathing slow and peaceful, like he'd been waiting a lifetime to rest in this exact spot. Abel froze. "This wasn't part of the plan," he whispered to the ceiling. The ceiling didn't care. He tried to move Luca, gently. But Luca made a soft, sleepy sound, the kind that hit Abel directly in the soul, and Abel immediately abandoned the mission. "Nope," Abel muttered, defeated. "We're not doing this. We agreed on one night. Not cuddling." But Luca looked so warm. And small. And heartbreakingly comfortable. Against his better judgment and every cell in his emotionally repressed body, Abel relaxed back into the couch. His heartbeat settled under Luca's ear. His hand somehow, ended up resting on Luca's waist. "This means nothing," Abel whispered. Luca, still asleep, smiled. Morning betrayed him. Sunlight poured through the blinds, landing directly on Luca's face. His lashes fluttered, and then, slowly, he opened his eyes. Abel's breath caught. Luca stared up at him with sleepy, soft, intimate eyes, the kind of eyes that belonged in long-term relationships, wedding vows, and emotional disasters. "Morning," Luca murmured. Abel panicked. Last night, breakfast?" "No, I meant to say goodbye. One night. Just one." Luca stretched like a satisfied cat. "Sure," he said casually. But his eyes said something entirely different. Forever. And Abel, who didn't believe in nights, or in love, was completely and utterly doomed. Abel Hale arrived at work with the energy of a man who had slept approximately 3 minutes and 38 seconds. He walked into the office bathroom, stared at his reflection, and whispered, "Get it together. It was one night." "One night." His reflection looked back like, "Yeah, sure, liar." He splashed water on his face, fixed his hair, straightened his tie, and attempted to erase all evidence that a gorgeous, chaotic man had slept on his chest like a newborn koala. Then he marched into the office, confident, composed, professional, and immediately tripped over a trash bin. "Smooth," his coworker Maya said, sipping her iced coffee like a judge at a disaster competition. Good morning, Abel muttered. You look different, she said, squinting. Glowy. Like you moisturized your soul. Abel tightened his jaw. I don't know what you're talking about. I do, Maya said, leaning in dramatically. You hooked up. I did, Abel choked. No. Your shirt is unbuttoned one hole lower than usual, she stated like a forensic analyst. Your hair is suspiciously soft. And you're smiling. I'm not smiling, Abel insisted. Maya pointed at his mouth. It's trying to smile. Abel covered his face. I'm fine. Sure. The chaos began exactly 10 minutes later. Abel was reviewing reports, pretending to be an adult, when the door to the bullpen opened. His soul left his body. Luca Rivers walked in. Chestnut hair. Unfair dimples. The exact same soft eyes that had stared into Abel's soul that morning. And, oh God, he was wearing a visitor's badge. Abel's internal organs rearranged themselves. Maya whispered, Who is that? No one, Abel squeaked. Luca spotted Abel instantly, smiled like sunshine and started walking toward him. No. Abel whispered, stiffening like a startled deer. Luca stopped right in front of Abel's desk. Hi, he said warmly. Abel panicked. And with the confidence of a man making the worst decision of his life, he said, Hello. Do we know each other? Maya's jaw hit the floor. Luca blinked. The earth paused. Oh. Luca said slowly. So that's how we're doing this? Abel swallowed. Sir, if you need assistance, human resources is. Human resources, Luca repeated, nodding like he was studying a rare species of idiot. Right. Of course. Maya stared at Abel like he'd just set his own house on fire. Luca crossed his arms. We've never met before? No, Abel croaked. Luca leaned in slightly, lowering his voice. Not even last night? When you said, oh, how did you phrase it, just one night? Abel burst into flames internally. Please keep your voice down, he hissed. Why? Luca asked innocently. We're strangers, right? You are evil, Abel whispered. Luca smiled. And you are very, very bad at lying. Maya mouthed, oh, it's my God, so aggressively she nearly dislocated her jaw. The worst part? Luca wasn't done. No worries, Luca said loudly. I'll just take my meeting, like a stranger. Abel nearly screamed. Luca winked, actually winked, and walked away, his hips doing that traitorous sway Abel was trying so hard not to remember. Maya grabbed Abel's arm. Explain. No, Abel whispered. If I explain, I'll die. Maya's eyes sparkled with chaotic delight. You slept with him. Abel covered his face. It was one night. And you forgot to tell him you work here? I didn't know he worked here. Or visited here. Or existed outside my couch. Maya cackled. This is incredible. It's humiliating. It's romance, she declared. Messy romance. Abel spent the next hour trying not to combust. But the universe hates him. Because after the meeting, Luca returned. He sat on the edge of Abel's desk, smirking, knowing he had all the power in the world. So, Luca said gently, would you like to tell me why you acted like you've never seen me before? Even though you watched me sleep on your very comfortable chest. Abel whispered, please stop saying things. Luca leaned closer. Abel, you could have just said you were scared. I am not scared, Abel hissed. You're terrified, Luca whispered back. Abel's heart slammed in his chest. And then, Luca did the worst thing possible. He smiled. Soft, warm, familiar. The exact smile that felt like last night all over again. Relax, Luca said. I'm not here to expose you. You literally already did. Okay, maybe a little. He grinned. You're cute when you panic. Abel almost fainted. As Luca walked away, Abel knew one thing for sure. This wasn't just one night. This was a disaster. A beautiful, dangerous, dimples-included disaster. And Abel was in serious, irreversible trouble. Abel Hale was determined to avoid Luca Rivers. It was a flawless plan. Simple. Plain. Emotionally responsible. Except Luca visited the office again the next day. And the day after that. And somehow became friends with everyone in the building except Abel. He brought coffee for the receptionist. Shared jokes with accounting. Even helped Maya fix the printer. Something Abel had declared unfixable 6 months ago. Maya had looked at Luca like he was Moses parting the sea. She looked at Abel like he was the sea. So, she said one morning, leaning on Abel's desk. When are you two talking? We're not talking, Abel said. You're staring at him. I'm not. Abel, you just spent 3 minutes watching him open a bottle of water. Abel covered his face. His hands are distracting. Maya gasped. Oh, my God. He regretted everything. It was Friday when the disaster truly began. Abel went to the office kitchenette for tea, but froze when he saw Luca already there, leaning against the counter, spinning a spoon between his fingers like some kind of spoon magician. Luca looked up, smiled softly. Hey. Abel turned around. Luca grabbed his sleeve. No. You're not escaping again. Abel sighed. I'm not escaping. You pivoted so fast I felt a breeze. Abel stared at the floor. What do you want? To talk, Luca said simply. Like normal human beings do. I am a normal human being, Abel insisted. You absolutely are not. Abel's eye twitched. Luca took a breath, expression shifting from teasing to something quieter, gentler. Abel, why won't you look at me? Abel hesitated. Because if he looked, truly looked, he'd fall again. Harder. Faster. Stupidly. I'm busy, Abel murmured. We're in a kitchen. I'm mentally busy. Luca huffed a soft laugh. Okay, fine. If you won't look at me, at least listen. Abel's stomach tightened. I'm not here to pressure you, Luca said. I just don't want to be a secret you're ashamed of. Abel's head snapped up before he could stop it. I'm not ashamed, he said quickly. Luca's smile was sad. Then why pretend you didn't know me? Abel's throat tightened. Because that night, because I didn't expect you to show up at my job looking like a functioning adult? Luca offered. I was going to say, a distraction, Abel muttered. Luca laughed, the kind of laugh that wrapped around Abel's ribs and squeezed. Well, Luca said softly. Maybe I wanted to see you. Abel blinked. Why? Luca shrugged lightly. You were warm and kind. And you listened when I talked about my ridiculous cat. Most people just tell me to shut up. That sounds reasonable. Luca smacked his arm. Abel pretended it didn't make him blush. But then, Luca's expression changed again. The brightness dimmed. The smile wobbled just a little. I don't usually sleep well, he admitted quietly. But when I fell asleep on you, that was the first real rest I'd had in weeks. Abel felt something crack behind his ribs. Before he could speak, Luca tried to laugh it off, but it came out wrong. Too sharp. Too forced. My family's a mess, Luca said. Always has been. People walk out. People break things. People break me. But I'm used to it. I smile, I joke, I flirt. Everyone thinks I'm fine. Abel's chest tightened painfully. I'm not fine, Luca whispered. Abel didn't even realize he'd stepped forward until he was right in front of Luca, lifting a hand, hesitating, then gently touching his wrist. Luca looked up at him with eyes that weren't sparkling for once. Why didn't you tell me? Abel said, voice low. We had rules, Luca murmured. One night. No feelings. Abel's thumb brushed Luca's skin. That didn't exactly work. A soft, hopeless laugh escaped Luca. Yeah, I noticed. They stood there, too close, too warm, too everything, until Luca finally pulled back, clearing his throat. Sorry, he said quickly. I didn't mean to dump all that on you. I'm being dramatic. You are dramatic, Abel said. But not wrong. Luca blinked at him. I'm bad at people, Abel admitted. And worse at feelings. But you're not dramatic. You're human. Luca's lips parted, shock flickering across his face. The moment held. Then, the door swung open and Maya yelled, What are you two doing? Wait, don't stop on my account. Abel groaned. Luca snorted. They moved apart, bumping into counters and dignity. Maya pointed between them. Whatever this is, fix it. Luca looked at Abel. Abel looked at Luca. And for the first time, neither looked away. But later that afternoon, after a small misunderstanding, one wrong sentence, Luca's expression shuddered. He whispered, I shouldn't have expected anything from you, and walked away, leaving Abel standing there, realizing with a sickening drop. He didn't want just one night. He wanted Luca, and he might have just lost him. Abel Hale did not panic. Panicking was messy, chaotic, uncivilized. So when Luca Rivers walked out of the office with heartbreak in his voice and disappointment in his eyes, Abel absolutely did not panic. He simply forgot how to breathe, and walk, and think. Normal stuff. Go, Maya hissed, shoving Abel toward the elevator. Run after him. I don't run, Abel muttered. You ran when the office microwave caught fire. That was self-preservation. This is emotional preservation. The elevator doors began closing. Maya shrieked, Abel, if you don't fix this, I'm going to tell everyone about the time you cried over a dog commercial. Abel dove into the elevator like a man fleeing a crime scene. He hit the lobby button. He tapped his foot. He practiced breathing. Failed. Tried again. Luca's words echoed in his head. I shouldn't have expected anything from you. The memory punched Abel straight in the soul. Outside, Luca was walking down the street fast, too fast for someone with legs that pretty. Abel jogged after him, ignoring the stitch forming in his side and the fact that he probably looked like a malfunctioning penguin. Luca, he called. No response. Luca. Still no response. Luca, if you don't stop, I'm going to, feelings will happen. Luca froze mid-step. Slowly he turned. You're threatening me with emotions? It worked, Abel wheezed. Luca's expression softened, just a little. What do you want, Abel? Abel opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. Words were hard, like taxes, or communicating. I messed up, Abel finally said. Luca let out a humorless laugh. Which part? Pretending you didn't know me? Ignoring me? Walking away just now when I tried to be honest? Abel winced. Okay, yes. I have a list of crimes. And Abel swallowed. I'm scared. Luca blinked. Abel kept going because apparently his survival instincts were gone. I am terrible at feelings. I avoid them like expired yogurt. But you walked into my life with your dimples and your ridiculous cat and your stupidly soft expressions. My expressions are stupidly soft? Yes. They ruined me. Luca stared. Abel inhaled shakily. I didn't pretend I didn't know you because I was ashamed. I did it because I didn't know what to do with the fact that one night with you felt like more than one night. Luca's breath hitched. Abel took a step closer. You think I didn't feel anything? Luca, you fell asleep on my chest and He stopped, ears burning. Look, it did something to me. Okay. Emotionally. Spiritually. Stupidly. Luca's lips twitched. Stupidly? Very stupidly. Abel? No, Abel said, lifting a hand. Don't interrupt my panic monologue. Luca fought a smile. Abel exhaled. You matter to me. More than I expected. More than I'm ready for. But I don't want you to walk away thinking you were just a night to me. You weren't. You aren't. Silence. A long, heavy, heart-thumping silence. Then Luca whispered, I wanted more too, you know? Abel's heart did a somersault. But I thought you didn't, Luca continued softly. I thought maybe I scared you away. Or maybe I annoyed you. You annoy me constantly, Abel said. Luca rolled his eyes. Wow. Romance. But I want you anyway, Abel added. Luca's mouth fell open. Oh. Abel echoed. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting you either, Abel admitted. But I want to try. With you. Not for one night. He coughed awkwardly. Longer. How long? Luca asked, stepping closer. Abel gently took Luca's hand. As long as you want. Luca's eyes softened, glimmering, melting, everything Abel secretly adored. You're serious? Luca whispered. Abel nodded. Terrified. But serious. Luca squeezed his hand. Good. Because I didn't want forever with anyone, until you. Abel's brain short-circuited. Then Luca tugged him forward and kissed him, soft, warm, achingly familiar. The same softness Abel remembered from that night. The same warmth he'd been running from. When they pulled apart, Abel rested his forehead against Luca's. So, Luca murmured, not just one night? Definitely not. Luca laughed. Good. Because your couch is very comfortable and I fully intend to fall asleep on you again. Abel rolled his eyes. I should have known. You did, Luca said smugly. Deep down. Spiritually. Abel snorted. Shut up and come home with me. Luca grinned. Gladly. That night, Abel woke to find Luca asleep on his chest again. Peaceful, warm, safe. But this time Abel didn't panic. He smiled. And whispered against Luca's hair. Stay. Luca murmured softly, half asleep. Always,